For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order. Hello, Pokemon fans! I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and today I have for you another PSA submission video. That's right, it is finally time for us to submit our second grouping of cards to PSA. So I'm going to be sending all 15 of these cards actually through a new person. I made a connection recently with someone who works at Ludkin's Collectibles. Seems like a really great company as far as what I can tell. They're insured, they're licensed, straight through PSA. They're actually the #1 PSA grading service in the European Union, but they are actually based here in the United States, or at least the guy that I talked to is. He actually lives in Virginia. So I'm going to go through him this time, and we're going to see how things work. Now, obviously, I don't want to go giving credit to anybody just yet, because I don't know what my experience is going to be like, but I'm going to give them a shot. So I will actually include some information down below in the description for you guys to contact them if you wish to do that, or I would recommend actually waiting for our return to see exactly how things went, but we're going to give them a shot. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what we're going to be sending off. So the very first card we're going to be sending off here is this first edition Fossil Muck Hollow. Personally, I think this is going to probably get either a 9 or a 10. I don't see any scratching on the hollow. There is no edge wear on the card whatsoever. I feel pretty confident in it, actually. I don't know if it's going to be, one of those cards that's going to be like super valuable for grading a 10, but nonetheless, it's still a first edition Fossil Hollow, and it is actually the only first edition Hollow that I have that is worth grading at this point from this era. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. The next card we're going to be grading is this Here Comes Team Rocket card, which of course is a Japanese card. This was their first secret rare. So I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. There's not a whole lot of these that have actually been graded, and I feel pretty confident in this one too. As a matter of fact, this one's actually in a clear sleeve, so we're going to take a look at this real quick. The edges on the back look pretty solid. Of course, you're looking through a top loader too, so it's a little bit harder to tell. But Japanese cards in general, their edges hold on much, much better than English cards do. And I feel like this one will probably get either a 9 or a 10 as well. So I have high hopes for this, and I feel like this could probably be a good investment card later on down the line. That is something that I want to try to get into a little bit more is, besides just collecting the cards, trying to get some investment value as well. Because one day, you never know. I mean, you might need it. Hard to say. So the next card we're going to be sending off here is this Full Art Japanese Lysander. This is a first edition Lysander. I'm starting to realize that full arts in Japanese, or secret rares in Japanese, are becoming more and more valuable, and more people are wanting to get these things graded. So pick them up graded. I shouldn't say they want to get them graded, they want to buy them graded. So we're going to start sending off some Japanese secret rares as well. This is the very first one I'm going to send off because, well, it's Lysander and it looks really, really cool. I have a pretty high confidence factor in this one getting a 9 or a 10 as well. I don't think anything that I'm going to be sending off here is going to be worse than a 9 or a 10, with the exception of maybe like 1 or 2 cards. But this is another one that has a good, strong chance at a 10 in my opinion. The next card we're sending off here, this is a Scyther EX. I can't remember if I pulled this one or not. I may have. I know I pulled Hitmonchan from our one of every pack video, but I don't remember if I pulled this one, but I feel like I might have because it's just too perfect to not be pulled by me, or at least somebody I know. I don't know. I don't remember where I got the card from if I didn't pull it myself. But regardless, this is a really, really nice Scyther EX. Of course, this is all the way back from 2003, so this is a 14-year-old card. Sorry about the glare there. I'm looking at it without looking in the camera screen. I feel like this is another really good, strong candidate for a 10. I'm very, very confident in it. It looks gorgeous. I mean, this old school EX, look at the hollow pattern on it. It extends in the borders and in the background. Very prevalent. Beautiful, beautiful looking card. So I'm really hoping that that will be one of my 10s. Next up, this is actually a card that was given to me by Professor Josh. You guys have heard me mention him before on the channel. You guys saw the FCBMs that he sent to us. This was actually inside of it. According to him, human hands have never touched this card. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to say that this has a strong chance at a 9 or a 10. I do notice one small little issue at the corner there, and I don't know if that's dust or if it's dirt or what. But if it's never touched human hands, I'm going to say that this has a good chance. And this is actually a pretty rare card, too. I believe this card is called Lucky Chansey. It is a white diamond card, which is pretty hard to come by. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to turn out as well. But that corner does scare me just a little bit. This might keep it from being a 10, might push it down into the 9 range, but we'll see how that goes. All right, the next card I'm going to be sending off here is actually a card that is banned in the United States and elsewhere outside of Japan. This is Misty's Tears. The reason for this is because, well, Misty is actually naked. That's the only reason why this card is banned. It does have an alternate printing in English, but this particular artwork is banned in everywhere except for Japan, I guess. So this is just a cool submission in my opinion. I don't know if this one, oh, nice sleeve. I guess that was one of the extra ones that were laying around from people who've sent me sleeves. I don't know how well this is going to come out. This is not my card. I actually didn't look at it super close, but I know it's in good shape. It's got a little bit of an issue up there in the corner. Nothing too major. Down here, it's got a little bit of a corner ding. More than anything, I'm getting this graded just because it's a banned card, and banned cards are actually pretty hard to come by, so... Wow, the back looks way different in the camera than it does in real life. It looks super light blue in the camera, but yet it's dark blue otherwise. I do feel like this is probably going to be either a weak 9 or a strong 8. I don't know which way to go on that. I'm very hard on my cards. You guys saw my last PSA submission video. I was very hard on it. I said I'm going to get 8s and 9s all the way across the board, and instead I got nothing but 9s and 10s. So... I mean, I'm very hard on it. I have a feeling that corner will prevent it from being a 10. It might get a 9, it might get an 8. Hard to say. Okay, also, it's the first submission that we're sending off in quite a while, so I'm going to do it in style. We're going to send off a whole bunch of Charizards. So the next 3 cards you see here are going to be variations of Charizards. This is a Platinum Arceus, I believe. Galactic Foil Charizard. I don't think it's going to be like super valuable or anything like that, but it is a very solid card. I don't think it's going to be too much worse than maybe a 9. I see a little bit of issues in the edges again at the bottom corners, but nothing too major. And sometimes PSA kind of skimps over that, so it's hard to say, but we'll see how that one goes. Next up here, we've got a Charizard Holo from EX Power Keepers. I actually picked this out of a lot. I bought a lot on eBay of bulk cards, and it was like, I don't know, what was it, like 1,000 or 2,000 bulk cards that I found on eBay for really cheap, and I was like, you know what, it's worth it. I'm just gonna buy the lot. And this was actually inside of it, along with a few other cards too that aren't gradable, but this one might actually be worth it. I don't see any scratches on the holo foil. I don't see any edge issues or any whiting on the back of it. So this has a strong chance at a 9 or a 10 as well, in my opinion, and it's a really cool Charizard holo regardless. So curious to see how this one comes out, especially being out of a bulk lot that didn't have a sleeve or anything. No protection. If this comes out well, I will be very surprised and very happy at the same time because, I mean, in general, the bulk lot was worth it just to buy and sell as bulk, so should be interesting. All right, next card we're looking at here is a CP6 Charizard Holo Japanese. A lot of these have been graded. A lot of these. I want to say it was like in the 800 range or so, 900, 1,000, something like that. PSA 9s are super popular. PSA 10s are super popular in this, but it's still worth it because there's a demand for them. So it's Charizard, it's going to do well no matter what. So we're going to send this one out and see how it goes. This is our 3rd Charizard. We actually have some more to send off too, but they're a little bit on the rare side, so we're going to keep those for last. But this one, pretty solid. I'm expecting to get a 10 on this one. I really don't think it's going to get anything less. If it does, then no worse than a 9, but it all depends on what the grader sees. Next up, we're going to send off this secret rare double colorless energy from Guardians Rising. Not too many people have been sending off cards from modern eras, and this is a really good secret rare. It's perfectly centered. It doesn't have any issues at all. No edge wear, no scratches, no dings, no nothing. I feel like this is a strong candidate for a 10, and if so, well worth the send-off. So even if it's not like a super highly sought after card, one day it might be. You never know. So I'm going to send that one off. Next up, we're going to send off a card that I pulled. I know for a fact that I pulled in the 100,000 subscriber special, and that is this Shining Celebi from Neo. This is one that I pulled towards the very end of our one of every pack video, our 100,000 subscriber special, and it just blew me away when we did, and this one came out just perfect. I really think that this is going to get a 10. I don't have too many doubts about it. I'm pretty confident in it, but you never know. Again, PSA, it all depends on what the grader sees when they go through it. They could find one little possible thing and take off enough points to make it a 9. So I'm gonna say definite 9, possible 10. So there's that. Next up, a Shining Raichu. This I purchased, oh gosh, I don't remember how long ago I purchased this, but I bought it a long time ago and I've been meaning to get it graded for the longest time. I feel like this is another candidate, definite 9, possible 10. It's a beautiful card. I love Shining Raichu. Just the artwork on it, the color combination, everything about this card looks really nice. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what it gets. I can already see one teeny tiny little blip right there on the edge that might bump this down to a 9. But again, I'm super hard on my grading, so it's hard to say what PSA will come up with, but we'll see. All right, next up, we got one gold star to submit, and we're gonna send off this Registeel gold star. I'm thinking this is gonna get an 8 or a 9. I don't think it's gonna get a 10. It's got some issues. Matter of fact, oh, this was an old top loader. Every time I turn a card around, there's something there. This has got a couple of issues on the back. It's got a little bit of edge wear down there, a little bit of edge wear up at the top, and the back has a little scratch right there. So I think this might actually end up getting an 8. I don't think this is gonna get a 9 or a 10 for that matter. And that's okay, because cards like this, super hard to find them in pristine condition. And I've been very lucky with my other gold stars that I got nothing but 9s or 10s, with the exception of Alakazam that had an issue that nobody saw, but PSA did. So we're gonna send this one off as well. It's the best gold star I have left for condition wise, and I'm hoping that it at least gets an 8. All right, so next up, this is another card that I pulled in our 100,000 subscriber special, one of every pack. This one came from EX Fire Red Leaf Green Charizard EX. The best card that you could hope to pull out of that set. We opened one pack of it and boom, there it was. Charizard EX. This card is gorgeous. It's got a very pretty border here with the galactic foil going around the entire card and in the hollow foil as well, with Charizard blasting a very beautiful flame there. I don't have any doubts about this one being a 9 or a 10. I really think that this has a shot at a 10, and it has a definite possibility of a 9. Pulling this myself and being as careful with it as I was, I'm really strongly believing that this is going to be a very valuable card for my collection later on down the line, if it isn't already valuable enough. I know these cards go for quite a bit, but if it's a 10, it's really going to be quite a valuable addition to the collection. So looking forward to this one, probably more than any of the other cards that are here today. But there is one more card that is a bit rarer than that I'm going to be sending off, and it's not going to get a 10, it's not going to get a 9, and it won't even get an 8, but I have to do it. We're going to send off this Shadowless Charizard. I got this off of eBay for 100 bucks, and when I got it off of eBay, I did not see a thing wrong with it. I was like, this is just mint. I can't believe I pulled this thing off. 100 bucks, nothing wrong with it, but it does have some edge wear down at the bottom corners. It has some edge wear up at the top and a little bit on the sides, but that's not the worst part. The worst part about this card, which I'm going to try my best to get the lighting to hit it. I don't know if I'll be able to. There you go. You can see it right there. There's a scratch, just a hairline scratch too. Hairline scratch that's right here by my thumb. There you go. You can see it right there. And then that hairline scratch runs all the way up the card, up through Charizard. You can see it up through his shoulder and right to the end right there. So that scratch right there will probably hold this card back from getting anything better than a potential 6 or 7. But nonetheless, it's still a Shadowless Charizard. It's still extremely rare, it's still extremely valuable, and extremely sought after. So I feel like it's still worth grading. Even in a 6 or 7 condition, this card still goes for around $200. So if I'm spending, you know, $110, $115 on this card to have it graded, and, you know, for the card itself and to have it graded, then I'm pretty sure that it's worth the investment, especially if I hold on to this card for a long time, which I probably will, because Shadowless Charizard is just something that's really cool. I had a Shadowless first edition one, but it was in much worse condition than this, so I definitely did not keep that one. I just sold it as is. But this one has a good chance, I think, at getting a decent grade. At least a 6, 7 if we're lucky. very lucky, I think, and definitely no chance at an 8, 9, or a 10. This will be the worst condition card, but it will definitely be my proudest one, just because it's a Shadowless Charizard. So, this is what we're going to be submitting off to PSA in total. Hopefully, we get some good grades on these, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results, but this was the big thing. Since this is our first one, I wanted to make it big and send off as many different Charizards as I could. I have other Charizards that I could have submitted, but these are the best ones, condition-wise anyways, but these two right here will definitely be the top of the top, the best of the best as far as value goes. Not followed too far behind by the Shinings and the Registeel and the Double Colorless Energy. You never know. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these two as well. Two of the coolest cards in this. This one's going to be pretty solid, and the rest of them are just kind of like, well, these are cool, but I'm just going to send them off. So, really excited to see how these turn out. Again, I'm going to send them with Ludkin's Collectibles. I'll put a link to their information down below. But like I said, if you guys feel like waiting until the service is proven, please do so, because they are not providing me with any kind of like a payment, or this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. Again, I'm not fully convinced until I see the results, but I'm going to try it with them because their prices are pretty darn good. I think this is probably some of the lowest prices that I've ever seen, so if you guys want to check them out, definitely worth checking them out. Plus, PSA insured. I mean, you really can't go wrong. If they lose your cards, then they're covered, and that's something that you can't say other guys will necessarily do. And they're some of the cheapest, so I think it's definitely worth a shot anyway. Excuse me. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this PSA submission video. Really looking forward to the results. We should have them sometime in the next 50 days. I believe that's the turnaround point. And last I was told, the turnaround days for Ludkin's is somewhere around 35 days. So if we're lucky, maybe we'll see this within that time frame. That's only about 6 weeks or so. So in the next 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 weeks, we will have final results. Actually, probably 6 to 9 weeks. We will have some final results for these cards, and I will post the results video. So look out for that, guys. And thank you very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more TCG content, and let me know if you guys think a monthly PSA submission series is a good idea or not. I've got plenty of cards that I would probably be willing to send. If you guys want to see submission videos, I will definitely do so. All right, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries. You all take care. Have a great day.